A note on Mississippi Burning, one of the best films ever made, one of my favorites, even if a sad film about one of those dark chapters in American history. A narrative about racism, about despicable people, and some heroes, some Übermensch. I'm thinking of the civil rights activists who go down south when it was so dangerous to try and promote, protect the rights of the Native Americans, which contradiction in terms were non-existent at the time, but the idea was to try and get the American South out of that darkness and Middle Ages where it was situated. And then the story evolves around the investigation. The fabulous Gene Hackman is the hero here, I think, Agent Rupert Anderson, even if he comes under Willem Dafoe, aka Alan Ward. There's also Frances McDormand, the wife of one of the Coen brothers, I must say. I don't know which one of them, but married to one of them, and of course present in a good number of their films, from the classic Fargo to Burn After Reading. She's Mrs. Pell, the wife of the deputy sheriff, played very well by Clinton Pell. No, I'm sorry, his name is Clinton Pell. I don't have the actor. So anyway, the FBI from the north descends on this small town in the south where tragedy has happened, or at least all the indication is that it took place. They don't have yet, to begin with, the bodies, the evidence, the murders, but then with more forces deployed, they do find the car and the civil rights activists, that is, their remains. The car is pulled from a sort of a swamp. And then the question is to demonstrate. They sort of know all along that people here are racists. They are used with the days when they lynched Native Americans. And so they don't see it as a crime when and if they kill niggers, as they call them, and nigger lovers, civil rights activists. And it takes all the tact, the emotional intelligence, especially emotional intelligence. Psychology has demonstrated recently is more important, in fact, than IQ. Some say twice as important. And the amazing Gene Hackman, Agent Rupert Anderson, has a way of talking with the wife of the deputy sheriff, of those around. He used to work in a small town, and he explains to Alan Ward, who is leading the investigation, that they have to use some other methods, except for the more the bigger manpower which is brought in, and which makes sense because they have to comb areas to get evidence, to try and see all they can. Those who talk to the FBI are attacked. That's the Grand Wizard, or whatever they call him, who descends on this place. And it's a clash between people who see human rights as essential and those who consider people are basically of two kinds, white men and the rest. I'm not sure, but I think it wasn't just Native Americans and people with a black skin that they were seen as inferior. Yellow color and other races were also discriminated against. And in fact, we had a recent proof in Charlottesville. Those people with tiki torches and chanting Jews will not replace us and things like that. And then the leader of the free world, the orange president, such a failure, such a inexplicable choice. Even if it didn't win the popular vote, it's still amazing. I mean, unbelievable. They voted for this guy. So in Charlottesville, they did what they did. Racists, as recently as I don't know, a month ago, and he showed that if he's not a Ku Klux Klan member, he has a fondness for white supremacists and the like. He sees them as part of his base, of the people who have elected him. So to return to the film, it's phenomenal. As I said, one of the very best. In my book, it's among the top 20, if not 20, 30 or so. And again, it's in large part due to Gene Hackman, who is outstanding. He's a god of cinema. Willem Dafoe is not bad. Of course, Francis McDormand and the other members of the cast are doing a splendid job. But Gene Hackman is really out of this world. When he has material, when they make him play acting, what was that? Moose, Welcome to Mooseport, or when he's the president running in an election against a local mayor or something. And that was a silly script. There's not much he can do with that. Mississippi Burning is really fantastic, wonderful.